Hi everyone, this is a video lesson for anyone who missed the live lesson on Tuesday, or if you just need a wee recap of how to create and simplify ratios. Okay, so today's intentions, just like on Tuesday, are to understand and work with ratios, to create ratios, and to simplify a given ratio. Okay, so to first understand ratio. Ratio, the word, is all about sharing and being fair. So we are splitting quantities, we are splitting amounts into a different ratio, sharing them out into a given ratio. Okay? So ratio is used to share things out when we are being fair. It is also used when one thing has a greater representation than another. And that second bullet point there is the one that we will focus on for this lesson just now. So, on the screen here we have got a bunch of counters. We want to figure out what the ratio of red to yellow counters is. Now this is written as RED with our two dots in the middle and yellow on the other side. Okay? And those two words are always replaced by numbers. Red to yellow means that the red ones come first. Yes, they are first in the diagram, but it's what's first in our statement. So red is first here, we have to write down the red number first. So the ratio of red to yellow, well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red to 3 yellow. Okay, now those two dots there are a colon. Okay, like you would use in English. Write them down in between, and what that means is it's how we represent ratio, and it means it's 5 to 3. Okay, only in this given context does that make sense, because we are asked for red to yellow. If we were asked for yellow to red, we would simply swap those numbers around. Okay, let's see another example. In this case, we are asked for the ratio of green to blue. So it's going to be green on the left, dot dot, blue on the right. There are 4 greens to 5 blues. Okay, now these can be used in, say, recipes. 4 parts eggs to 5 parts flour. Okay, to mix paint, 4 parts green paint to 5 parts blue paint. Okay, to make some wonderful colour. Alright, so that's how these would be used, but right now we're just looking at writing them down. The next one would ask red to yellow again, so that would be 6 red, so 6 to 2. Now we're just about to move on to do something with these ratios. This 6 to 2 may also be written as 3 to 1. Now that process there, going from 6 to 2, writing that as 3 to 1, is called simplifying the ratio. And it works exactly the same as if we were to simplify fractions. So say we had the fraction 2 over 4. We could divide the top number by 2, divide the bottom number by 2, and get 1 over 2. We can do the same with fractions. Same with ratios. Say we have the ratio 2 to 4. We can divide both of these by 2 and create the ratio 1 to 2. Okay, so let's see how this works in practice. The ratio 4 to 8. We want to simplify that, so we look for a number that we can divide both 4 and 8 by. We can divide them both by 4. So that will give us a ratio of 1 to 2. And that's it simplified. We can't go any further because there is no number that we can divide both 1 and 2 by, apart from 1, which just leaves us with 1, 2. Next one, 5 and 10. We could divide both of these by 5. which will leave us the ratio 1 to 2 again. The ratio 12 to 2, we could divide both of these this time by 2. And in this case, we'll end up with 6 to 1. So notice here the smaller number doesn't always have to come first. It's just what, depending on the context, this ratio could represent something slightly different. And the last one for the example, we could divide both of these numbers here by 3, which will give us a ratio of 2 to 3. Okay, so when you simplify a ratio, just like when you simplify a fraction, it doesn't have to go all the way down to 1. Okay, you can't divide 2 and 3 by the same number, so that's us completely finished. Right, let's see a couple of these ones in action then. So on this slide we have got to write down a few ratios. Now I'm going to go through these. You can feel free to pause the video just now and come back to it, or if you think you've got enough explanation, then you can finish the video and go off to the work. Okay, so we want to write down the ratio of black to white counters for the first example up the top there. So black to white, we have 2 blacks and we have 4 whites, so 2 to 4. Simplify will give us 1 to 2. The next one was black to white as well, so that was 6 to 2. Simplified gives us 3 to 1, dividing both by 2. What is the ratio of white to black? So white comes first this time. 4 to 3. Now we can't simplify that, so our simplified answer is still 4 to 3. Ratio of black to white this time. There's 2 blacks. There are 10 whites. Divide both of those by 2, we get a ratio of 1 to 5. Black to whites again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 to 3. Divide them both by 3 and we get 3 to 1. This time it's white to black, so we've got to count all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 to 3. We can't divide both of them by the same number, so just 16 to 3. And lastly, to the last two, whites to black, we've got 3 whites here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blacks. That will give us 1 to 2 when we simplify. And black to white, 3 to 3, so 1 to 1. Now that bottom one there is a special kind. You can get a ratio of 1 to 1, that's perfectly okay. And we don't have to change that at all, just leave it as 1 to 1. Now this dot, the section over the right hand side here is slightly different. What we're going to do here is represent these ratios with the dots. Now there's of course more dots there than there are ratios, so 4 to 1, we're going to have to expand that up the way. So what I would do is I would fill in the dots 1, 2, 3, 4 black ones, leave a space for a white, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 to 1 for that ratio. There are 8 coloured ones and there are 2 whites. If we were to simplify that ratio, we'd get down to 4 to 1. All of these ratios are black to white, so I'll be using blue, so coloured to white really. The next one, 2 colours and 5 whites, just count them, make sure they're okay. 1 coloured and 3 whites, so 1 coloured, 1, 2, 3 whites, 1 coloured, 3 whites, 1 coloured and 3 whites on the end. 5 to 3, so 5 coloured. Okay, as long as you repeat that process a given number of times, you'll be able to simplify the ratio down to what's given in the question. The next one's 7 to 2. So there's 7, 2 whites, and then again on the bottom. And really what we have there for that ratio is 14 to 4, but it would simplify down to 7 to 2. 6 to 5 for this next one. So there's 6, 5 whites, 6 coloureds and 5 whites. Again, we've repeated that process a few times. 5 to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's a 1 just underneath the slide at the side there. So repeating this process, 5 to 1, 4 times, which means we'll be able to simplify it down to 5 to 1, and 3, 2, and so on. You would get the same sort of thing. So I'll just put them up on the next slide with the answers, and then that will be us completed. There we are, rather than fill the rest of them in. Okay, so what we will do now is everything you need to know is explained on the Teams page for you. You are going to complete the questions there based on this video or your memory from yesterday. Please ask questions if you need to and keep in touch. Okay, thank you.